Hey everybody, it's Susie Q, and we're going live tonight. How is everybody tonight? See if I have the link. Oh, I do. So now I can see the chat better. I hope you guys can hear me. Whew, it's warm down here in this fish room. Oh, I don't see the chat. Ooh, I see I got 10 thumbs up, but I don't see a chat. Bring all windows to the front. I hear. Well, while I look for the chat, you know where we're going with this, right?
Hey everybody, it's Susie Q and I'm here to show you just what I do. I have a passion for fish and exotics too, so come along with me, it's Susie Q. Hey everybody, it's Susie Q and I'm here to show you just what I do. I got a passion for fish and exotics too, so come along with me, it's Susie Q. Hey everybody, it's Susie Q and I'm here to show you just what I do. I have a passion for fish and exotics too, so come along with me, it's Susie Q. Hey everybody, it's Susie Q. Hey everybody, it's Susie Q. Nah nah, hey everybody, it's Susie Q, so come along with me. Said I'm Susie Q.
How is everybody? Look at everybody in the chat. Let me mute the drip. So hopefully you can still hear me, but the drip is muted, although I do like hearing that drip sometimes. How is everybody? Oh, I was listening to JH Aquatics, and two things happened. One, I flooded a tank because I wasn't paying attention, because he said something that was like, wait, what? You could, what? And I stopped paying attention and flooded the tank. And the other one, I think, is breaking news. So if you see JH, make sure you tell him, because I think he's breeding blue tetras. I'm almost positive, don't quote me on this, but almost positive, if you get a cat, your blue tetras actually do breed. So let him know that if he really wants some success. Oh my gosh, how is everybody? So my whole live stream I had recorded, and it was a fail. And let me give a shout out one more time, and this is, I couldn't be any more grateful to Mike. Fish Tank Barn. I now have a camera, a working camera, lens and all. So remember last week, it still didn't work, even though he sent me a lens. How sweet is that? That is just the most amazing thing ever. But it didn't work. So I took it to the camera store, and let me tell you, they had never seen this issue, and they were trying this and trying that and swapping out and doing this. And they're like, I think maybe your camera was damaged in the fall. And my heart just, skipped a beat. I'm like, what? And I said, my amateur know nothing about cameras. I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's the adapter. He said, well, it works on this and this. And I took it off and put on my macro lens, and it worked. He goes, So the only adapter he had, long story longer, in the store was a brand new one. So he had to get the okay from his boss to slice it open and try it. And with a brand new adapter, Mike's lens makes my camera work fine. Oh, I'm so happy. So the last 2 weeks, I've been pulling my hair out. Remember what it was like trying to get the information from my phone to my computer, and for some reason, and I've been through Apple hundreds of times. Well, maybe a dozen times, to no avail. And all that frustration came flooding back. Hasn't happened since I stick my camera card in my computer and everything uploads. So I'm just so thrilled and so happy. So thank you, Mike. You are very, very generous and very kind. So I am so thrilled. But the film that I have today, because I was going to go through, and we're still going to talk about it, but Is it worth it? Summer tubbing, breeding for profit, or just breeding fish outside with all the steps that's entailed and all the maintenance and all the teardown that's involved, at least in Pennsylvania. You may live in a state where you don't ever have to tear down. Like, and I'm so jealous. Oh, that would be so cool. But, so I had taken video clips and footage making my point every step of the way. So obviously I started this video at the beginning of the summer, and it's just a fail. But that's okay. We can talk about it. We can talk about it. Where am I from? We talk about it. Ooh, look at everybody. Can't stay for long. Good morning. For those in Australia, it's a beautiful Monday morning, right? I think you guys are heading into spring. Stephen is, oh good, I'm glad people are confirming. I'm thinking they're confirming the cat helps make, especially a kitten, but an adopted cat, a rescued cat, will make blue tetras. Only wild caught blue tetras actually breed. So, JH, if you really want that breeding project off the ground, my outside breeding did not pan out right. And then that's what I'm saying, Fancy Tail. Okay, so for me, now granted, I tend to overdo it a little, but I enjoy them so much during the summer. But I set up a couple tubs above ground. Easy enough. I was given a 100-gallon tub. It came with a redder slider, which is now in a deeper, bigger pond out front, which is going to stay going all year. Don't even try to breed fish in that because Yertle will eat all fish. She lives there with a frog about that big. So anyway, so that one there. But in the back, I have some above ground, but I got to be very careful because I can only put fish in there that can handle temperature fluctuations. Because it's above ground, there's no stability, especially in the northeast part of the United States. We had 3 solid weeks of 100 degrees, then it goes cold, then it goes hot, and trying to keep that water even within a 10-15 degree range is really hard. And an outside tub, at least mine, they're only like 18 inches deep. So it's not like the fish can go towards the bottom. So anyway, I have fish. All my live bearers did great. And my Danios did good because I put them in the 100-gallon tub, which does have a little more depth to it, so they could stay cooler when needing. But they didn't breed. And then, well, I have my 300-gallon turtle. These are all my outside plants that, as I was bringing in my summer tubs, I had to bring in my plants. The turtle tub, I couldn't breed anything in there. And then I had my blue platies, my blue Mickey Mouse platies. Oh, these were the deepest. Let me tell you. Let me. These were the deepest blue that I've ever seen. They were like a royal blue with every fade of blue until you got to sky blue. They were gorgeous, and with just a trim around them of like a silvery yellow. These fish were gorgeous. Got the last, I think it was 8 of them. I want to say, I forget where I got them now. The website that is on aquarium co-ops. It slipped my mind. Beautiful fish, love it. I think not the first hurricane, the second hurricane, I lost them. I drained down it, water, and it just flooded, and I couldn't find them. Anyway, so that, but anyway. So then I have some tubs closer in the back that I dug down. They're a little more stable. That's great because now I can keep the temperature right in the same 10-15 degree range, which is perfect. I'm not too worried about anything back there. And where else were my other tubs? Now my turtle tubs, I put some mosquito fish, but I don't do that for breeding. I do that to make sure that, you know, they eat the mosquito larvae off the top and whatnot. So setting them up isn't so bad because it's like exciting for me. It's fun. It's creative. It's kind of like when I start my gardens. It's all fun, weeding and planting and designing and what's going to go where. And then a week later you keep weeding and then a month later it's like, and then it's, I don't know if it happens to you, but it happens to me every year. But the creating part, I love. trying to figure out the best way to make everything look peaceful, enjoyable. That's my thing. I love doing that. And I think that's my problem with my multiple tank syndrome, because I love creating tanks. But anyway, so setting it up, I thought was nice. It was back-breaking because lugging some of this stuff around, and I'm not the most in shape person, don't care for anybody to comment, but bending over from a high position, going under 18 inches into the ground to do work up and down, it was hard on my body. Like a couple of weekends, I worked all weekend and I almost couldn't get up. Monday I was fine. Tuesday I couldn't get out of bed. You know, those kind of things. It was just, so it was hard, but it was going to be worth it. And I had my fish picked out, and it's kind of fun picking out the fish. I always use fish that I have. Sometimes the blue platies I bought just for this project. But I try to use what I have. Gives me a chance to clean out some tanks, clear out some of the stuff in the fish room. Getting the fish in there, it was nice. It's almost like the anticipation. You know, watching the weather. Is it going to get warm enough? And I use, my biggest guide that I use is Rachel O'Leary. She's been doing it way longer, very successful, amazing tubs. When she puts her fish out, and I'm not talking her greenhouse, when she puts fish out, I know it's time to put fish out. That's usually the gauge I use, is Rachel. Oh, what a girl. What a gal. What century am I from? Anyway. So and that part's fun, that's exciting. Maintenance. Maintenance isn't too bad. Maintenance isn't too bad. A lot of times I struggle with a pump. Can you recommend technique on breeding harlequin? Oh, Ozzy Soto. Somebody in the chat can give you techniques on breeding harlequins. I have never bred harlequins. Oh, Dee from down the wormhole. I'm going to take a time out from my story. Now somebody keep track that I am getting to the part of maintenance. Not so bad. Look at everybody in the chat. Hey, everybody. I didn't get to say to everybody in particular, and I'm sorry, but this is so awesome. I so appreciate everybody being in here. Thank you so much. Oh, nice to see all the... Oh, look, that's right, Stephen. All the awesome people here. Just making sure nobody said at Q Aquatics so that I don't miss a question. I keep my ponds going all year long. Stephen, the biologist, I'm so jealous. So jealous. I would love that. I would love to keep my turtles out year round and my tortoises. We're not even going to talk about that one. Had to work today. Our first Sunday open again. Ooh. Dee, I hope everything went well. I hope you stayed safe. Oh, I'm so excited for you. That must have been exciting. Oh. Fish tank barn. I saw your video this morning. Oh, it was gorgeous, wasn't it? Those red shoulders. If you haven't seen Fish Tank Barn's video he just did, he's rescaping, what is it, like a 245 gallon? He's got these gorgeous red shoulder severums in there. And I'm sure they have a Latin name, but it was amazing. It was amazing. Hey, Melvin. And Bob. Everybody's in the house. Thank you so much, Candy. Dragon Layer. Look at my DIY overflow for tubs on my channel. I will. Because what I did is I just drilled a hole. Well, let me tell you, during a hurricane, the rains came down so much faster. I was so frustrated. And then, what else happened? Oh, my raccoon and cat infestation. That's it. I'm not going to say infestation. But I had several visits from raccoons and cats this year. So I think they went a little fishing on their own. It is good for you to be here, Dee. I'm glad you are here. Good day, rebuilding our brand. Okay, so I'm back to the maintenance. So the creating it is fun, especially if you can pick up tubs on the side, like, what do you call them, exchanges, or on the side of the road, or the Facebook swap things. And that's where I got most of mine. The only one I bought was my 2-foot deep one that I wanted specifically for my turtle out front. Other than that, they've been given to me, repurposed, rehabbed. The ones that leak a little bit, I'll fill them up to where it leaks and make it a marsh or a bog garden. Candy said, oh, there's the link. Candy, you are awesome. Thank you. Yeah, let me tell you, that video, I just loved it, loved it, loved it. Especially those, Chris says, if you want some, I have fry. Of those red shoulder severums, they were gorgeous. Oh my gosh, they were so gorgeous. So I have this beautiful golden severum. The red severum, which I think is a golden severum. But it's red, right? Did I get that right? Turquoise severum. I don't know. This is not a, where is he? He's got 6 stripes on him, but no red shoulder. I'll find out. He's just a little baby. He's just a little baby right now. But anyway, that's very kind, Chris. Priscilla's in the house, lurking while I'm sunbathing. What? That is so way cool. Oh, you weren't feeling very good, Priscilla. I hope you are feeling better. So now the maintenance. The maintenance of the summer tubs might be different if you have 1 or 2. And I love to work out in my yard in the summer and the spring and the fall, and I love to primp them. And especially I was kind of dabbling in propagating plants this year outside because I see Haley's tub, her ropefish tub, kind of outside, inside. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Her plants that are in there, overgrown, lush, gorgeous. I wanted to try to see if I could even get a piece of that, you know. So I did that. Of course, hair algae ensued. Some of my tubs are out in the sun. It was almost like 12, 15 hours it was out in the sun. So that's when I built the sunscreen, which turned into a monstrosity. 20 foot high, 25 foot wide. What was I thinking kind of building? At least it's a shell of a building. But it helped tremendously with those 3 ponds in the back. Tremendously. But I was able to swirl out hair algae if you do that every day, and I'm talking lots and lots, without trying not to hurt the plants. But the other tub that was above ground that wasn't under the sun, I just let it go. I'm like, okay, have fun at it. Just have a blast. And some of the other maintenance was the pumps. Constantly getting clogged, and I kept coming up with these ways, or the fountain that keeps it flowing. In order for me to get to it again, it might have something to do with my age and my shape, but getting down, getting in there, getting it, okay, it was a little pain, but it was worth it. So I would go out every morning with my cup of coffee and my what I call my little slice of heaven, and say to myself, the setup, it was so worth it. Oh, it was absolutely worth it. All the sweat, everything, it was so worth it, because I can't put into words the feelings I would get sitting out in my garden with the waterfall falling and things chirping over here and turtles coming up over here and birds were singing and Sophie was actually squawking from the inside. But it was it's a beautiful moment. And to have that moment every day and not have to go anywhere for it but my backyard, which I'm going anyway to feed, you know, so I would have to say at that point, during this whole season, absolutely, hands down, worth it. It was worth it every step of the way. So now it's coming time, okay, I want to get a jump on it. I don't want to wait till the last minute. So I want to bring Fry in. But I never actually did that. I don't know why I never actually do that. I say I'm going to do it. And it might even be early now. I brought him in, even though we've had, maybe a whole week, 2 weeks of under 50-degree weather. That's pretty darn cold. But next week it's going to get above 50 at night. So who knows if I did it too early, too late. Doesn't matter. I decided to bring everything in. And I went through certain steps to do it. I have yet to find something easy. And let me go over these steps that I do. I might be doing it the hard way, you guys know, like, it could be. So, the first thing I do is I get a couple buckets. The first bucket is for any duckweed or hair algae, and I just pull it all out in the bucket, make sure there's lots of water, because there could be eggs. I had some egg scatterers, live birds. There could be lots and lots of eggs or fries in there. Fries. There could be eggs or fry in there. So that's my first step, is skim off, and I always do one tub at a time, because everything that's in that tub that I'm saving is going to go in one tank, including the pond water, the plants, and the fish. It's almost like a transitional entry back into the fish room, a semi-quasi quarantine, if you will. So I get all this stuff out now. That in itself is horrendous. I had duckweed up my nose and my hair, because there was so much of it, and then it was stuck, and the hair algae flipped, and that kind of thing. And it's hot, and then I'm not complaining, even though it sounds like it. It was very hard. And then I'm still in the first tank, the first tub, thinking to myself, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fuck. That's what I thought. I'm sorry. I was like, ugh. So I kept going. And I think I got as much hair algae. And as I'm looking at that tub, I'm thinking to myself, I'm not even going to go through that with. And I knew I had to just put it aside. So now I have a whole tub filled with plants on the bottom, sponges, hopefully full of fish and fry. I had put the GoPro down, a couple of them, and the tanks that had hair algae, I couldn't see anything. The GoPro would get into this web of hair algae, and all I saw was green. It's like, okay. And if you know, my GoPros comes out 12-minute clips, like 10 of them, and to watch all 10 scrubbing through was like same thing over and over. Every once in a while, I saw a glimpse of a fish, which I think was a fish. I mostly saw snails, and I got lots of snails, which I'm happy about. But anyway, so my next step was to get the sponge filters up and out for now, get as many plants out of the bottom. So now the tub is kind of muddy. It's not see-through. I'm like, great. Now what? Do I wait till it settles? I'm already hot, and I was like, let me go get a glass of water. Came back, didn't settle at all, but I took my big net, and all those plants and everything is in another tub. So then I get my official white bucket, and it has to be white for me because this water is going to be murky, and I need to see fry. So then I start scooping out. I do my figure 8, my little S's, thinking I'm getting everything. I can't drain the tank or the tub, because if I drain it, I'm going to suck up the fry. If I trying to set up something where I could drain it into a sieve or a net into another bucket, it was so low to the ground, I couldn't get it to work. It didn't work. Finally, I started trying this, and I'm like, where that would lie, right? So anyway, I kid you not. So once I get all the plants out and everything, I got some fry. I'm thinking this is great. So I take this fry, and I come down here and put it, I don't know if I can show you. I think I showed you last week. I put it down here. Yeah, it would be helpful if I put on that one, huh? So there's a mama. I got some fry. I just put all the plants. I actually use the exact same sponge filter that was out there in here with. This is pond water that had one water change so far. About a 30%, 40% water change. And I'll just keep doing water changes till it's regular water again. But I do have that Molly Platy swordtail female. Lots of babies, guppies. So I did get a lot out of the live bearer tank. That's the other tank. So anyway, I think I showed you last week, but last week I think the water was so murky it was hard to see. So I pulled out all those fry, and I very carefully looked through every bucket, got those out, put them in the tank. Go back outside, the water settled a little. There was tons of fry, tons more fry up there. So this was an all-day process. So I figured while I'm doing this, because I have to wait to settle, you see how this is getting, This took 3 weekends. 3 weekends and a couple days during the week. Doing this with all of them. So I started with this tank up there, that tub up there, trying to get some out, and that was a joke. My pond that was up top, and I love it. 3-tiered waterfall, beautiful. I kind of got to straddle the bottom pond, and I got to straddle this pond to get it, some of the stuff out, and the next thing you know, my foot is on fire. I look down, it's covered in ants. I must have stepped in. So anyway, I just put my whole foot in the pond. Now this pond is mucky, murky. Okay, so then I took a break and I walked away, and a couple of curse words were going on there. Let me see, did I miss? I think I missed something. I can't miss anything. So, and I don't want to complain, but it's hard. And it is a lot of work. And it wasn't even the tip of the iceberg. It wasn't even the tip of the iceberg. Oh, easy green. Whoops world. Who's Scott? Scott's Aquatics. I hope you get better soon, Priscilla. Oh. Okay, good. There's no Q Aquatics that I can see. If you haven't hit the like button, thank you. I'm draining a 33 of 3 now. Phew, be glad when I'm done. Exactly, Sherry. I'd love to know how you drain them. If you put duckweed, the hair algae goes away. Seriously, Priscilla. I have to think about that one. I'll definitely have to think about that one. Q, can you feed duckweed to your tortoises? They don't like it very much. The red air sliders and the painted turtles like it. But here's my fear. I was going to put duckweed in a couple of the turtle ponds, and they weren't going to like it. And now I'm going to have another pond with duckweed, because out of all my tubs, only one had duckweed. Only one. So, and I certainly didn't want to spread that stuff. I'm not a fan. Frog bit, I love. Lettuce, I love. Water hyacinths, love. Duckweed, not a fan. I can't seem to ever get rid of it once I have it. Ever. I've been outdoor pond and just plan to use that for my fancy goldfish in the summer. Beautiful. See any lanternflies in your yard? Oh my gosh. So cleaning out the pond, like I was just saying, and not even the big pond. This is just the summer tubs. Remember when I went inside to get fresher water, came back out, 3 lanternflies floating on there. Scooped them out, made sure they were destroyed, did something else, 4 more. Where are they coming from? I don't even have to do anything to kill them. They're just going in my pond dying. They kind of look pretty from afar, but I was like, wow, Tom, I'm getting a lot of those. A lot. And I respect all creatures, let me tell you, but that was way too much. Way too much. Yes, I'm getting a lot of them. So I did get so going through, and I went back out and did that process 2 or 3 times for my tub. So now I'm sitting back thinking, I'm really thinking I would love to hear what you guys have to say. Is it worth it? If I only propagated plants and made beautiful water gardens, which I would still continue to do, and maybe like, who was it that said plant porn? Just put their fancy goldfish out there for the summer. I'm not worried about them breeding. Like, I would still be able to enjoy everything. And tearing down would be so easy. Because I don't have to worry about, and honestly, I don't have enough fry to sell. I don't even have enough fry to take into my local fish store and trade for food. It's like, is that worth it? So I really got to think about it this year. I'm going to think about it over the winter. Should I be breeding fish outside? Like it was just there. If there's a trick to it that I don't know about it, I would love for somebody to share it with me, because the setup was great. The maintenance not too bad. The enjoyment of it magnificent. The teardown, I'm telling you, and I still got 3 more to go. I got 3 more to go. I'm like, yeah. Yeah, I gotta really wonder it. Well, there's too many nutrients or phosphates. Why hair algae? Duckweed will consume whatever the algae is consuming. It might work. Duckweed covers the top, light can't get to the bottom, so hair algae slows down. I kill on site too, Tom. Yeah, T-Bone, you do not want these lanternflies. I remember when we were first getting notification of them, they showed pictures. If there was a lanternfly sighting, we were to call this number, destroy it immediately. They were tracking there's just so many of them now. And I think they killed trees. Somebody in the comments might know better, but they're not good for the environment. They're invasive. It's kind of like when we first got stink bugs. Where'd they come from? I mean, they don't kill anything, but there's just, where'd they come from? There's so many of them. Everywhere. Everywhere. It is worth it if you keep everything balanced and do not go over. John Larson, what does that mean? Balanced? I don't know what that means. What fish did you try in the tubs? So, I did the Mickey Mouse platies, which I so wanted. I wanted to create my own colony. I wanted to continue on with those. They were the most beautiful platies I've ever seen in my life. They were just spectacular, and I literally get dreamy-eyed when I saw them. So, of course, none of them, not even a parent, survived. There's none anywhere. Anywhere. Danios. I didn't do White Cloud Mountain minnows because I did them last year. Very prolific, very nice. I kept my colony. I shared some with so many people. That's not a problem. What else did I do? I ended up doing guppies and endlers, which in the live bear tank, aside from the platies, because I didn't want to mix live bears just in case, something funky goes on. Daisy rice fish. What else did I have one down here. Let me see what it is. That's my one daisy rice fish that made it. Platies, swordtails. I did a lot of live bears this year in hopes that it would make it easier. Are you planning to do a tank with rosy red minnows and white clouds and celestial pearl danios? I am not planning on that, but that makes a very nice cold water tank. Invasive destructive bug from China that showed up a few years ago. No natural predators. Lightning bugs? No. Lantern bugs. Close, but no cigar. You can't make a ring out of a lightning bug. Ew, I can't believe we used to do that as kids. My mother-in-law came over one time. She's first generation from Ireland. Never realized that lightning bugs weren't worldwide. And I was telling everybody on the live stream last year that she saw them for the first time and she was fascinated. People in the chat were like, I've never seen them. They've never, on the west coast of the United States, I've never seen lightning bugs. I'm like, what? I live in a bubble. I just thought everybody got to see lightning bugs. Lightning bugs. Oh, Bob Kaler, super sticker. Let me see the super sticker. Thank you so much, Bob Kaler. Let me get it. Keep it up. Keep it up. Keep it up. $5 super sticker. Thank you, Bob. Keep it up. Keep it up. Woohoo! I love it. They do kill trees and destroy vineyards, which means I'm sure they would destroy plants and gardens too. Like catch them on fire? That's why I like Priscilla. Lanternflies infect a bunch of native trees. Ugh. Candy, these meds make me sleepy. Aw, night-night, Funk. Do you think that it may have had to do with the drop in pH in your water? I don't know. My tap water and what they're used to in here, it comes out of my tap at a 6.8. Maybe, but I think the hurricanes and the torrential downpours were like every week, and in my mind, that's kind of gradual. Like if it wasn't like every day and it just 100% changed overnight. But the first hurricane flood, only one of my tubs overflowed. So drilling those holes worked. I drain out a lot of water, but the one with my platies in didn't work. Didn't work. So it could have been the pH going from 6.8 Morrisville water, which is, you might as well just call it like poison. That's what I call it. Anyway, I can't even drink it. It's disgusting. Water shouldn't taste. It's like, ugh. But anyway, I use mostly RODI for everything anymore. When John moved in, he just set it up under the sink. I use it to drink out of, even though controversial. I don't care. It doesn't taste and it's nice and wet, so. I said it's nice and wet. So yeah, it could have been the pH. I wish I knew what it was. Mickey Mouse. Oh, these blue ones were spectacular. They were such a deep, I've never seen anything so deep royal blue. Bluer than Steenfott blue. And they were shimmery. And then they graduated all the way to sky blue. They were gorgeous. Gorgeous. Winters are mild and too many survive. Like pine beetles. We had a plague of them 20 years ago. Ooh. Ooh. Because the drop of pH also. Maybe. I would have dolomite or crushed coral in the tub. It's funny you say dolomite because where Elizabeth from One Fish Two Fish ROC lives, she lives on dolomite. So her stuff comes out of her tap at like 8 something. I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. Mine's a nice neutral 6.8 right out of the top. Try Congo barbs outside next year. Brought in now. See, now that would be fun. I didn't even think about barbs. Maybe I'm doing the wrong fish. So here's kind of what I thought without thinking it through, impulse thinking, which is what I do. I thought 2 or 3 tubs I'm going to try to propagate plants. 2 tubs I'll keep to trying to breed fish. And the rest will have my turtles or my fancy goldfish just out and enjoying them outside. Kind of like I bring my turtles outside, maybe I'll bring my fancy goldfish outside. Lightning bugs are magical. They are, Candy. They are, especially when you have children around and they just run and chase and laugh and giggle, and who doesn't love a good lightning bug? It's like awesome. I have never seen a lightning bug in person. Oh, I'm sorry, Atkins. Oh, we call them fireflies here. Are they the same? Yes, they're the same as lightning bugs, fireflies, same thing. And no, you don't catch them on fire. No. And you do not feed them if you have reptiles to any of your reptiles. Not that you should feed any caught insects outside. So yeah, they're the same thing. We have love bugs in Florida. Yeah, we got them too. It was made in a lab to kill mosquitoes, but all they do is bump uglies and oh my gosh. I lifted up one of my shingles of the garage and there were love bugs loving each other, and there's just too many of them. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Celebes rainbows. Did I say that right? Celebes rainbows constantly spawn outside. Celebes rainbows. Are they the blue-eyed, real tiny ones with like the yellow fin, kind of like yellowish on the top? I'm trying to think of which one they are. Did I say that right? Celebes. Celebes. Rainwater can be acidic. Yeah, rainwater could also probably be poisonous and pollutant, for all I know. But so anyone know best way to lower phosphate in water? Are you talking naturally or additive? The birds, the barbs make sense. They're low in pH area. I'm gonna try barbs next year. I think that's pretty cool. I'm gonna start. I think I'm gonna do that. I had red Mickey Mouse platies and golden barb browns. They are cool. Yeah. One thing that summer tubs are good for is that you can put fish outside and redo tanks. That was one of my favorite things. Now, I had redone tanks, rescaped, everybody, I was gonna say potted up. Moved up to the next level of tanks and rearranged like a tank Tetris kind of game. And then I make sure I got 4 or 5 tanks ready to go for pond and pond water and pond thing. And that was all over here. I only needed 2. This tank sits empty, which is kind of cool because, you know, I got, 29 gallon ready and raring to go. It's not heavily planted yet. Let's see if you want to see it. You guys want to see it? I'll show you. Okay. So don't mind the bubbles in the backing. I was in a rush. But look at these swords. I don't know if you can see. They're not yellowish. They are actually variegated. Love it. There's almost like pseudo irises back there. So this was gonna house some more plants from the outside as well as my platies. They were gonna be my platies. And I've fallen in love with severums. Oops. I have fallen in love with the severum, so I know I gotta have to tank up. I'm gonna have to get some bigger tanks because they are gorgeous, and it's all started with One-Eyed Willie. He didn't make it, but he got me started on this amazing fish. I can point them out. So yeah, summer tubs are really good too. I do the same thing with my tortoises and turtles, and when I get them out of and I can clean out the reptile room, rearrange some enclosures. I get all my plants that were on the shelves and everything outside, and really it's really nice to get everything outside and air it out until it's time to bring them back in. And maybe I'm just, being lazy. I don't think I'm lazy. I think I'm a very active lazy person if I'm lazy. Random question. I've got some black skirt tetras in a tank, but want to decommission it. Would they be okay with cherry shrimp? Ooh, depends. Do you like your cherry shrimp? Are there hiding places for your cherry shrimp? Somebody else is going to have to answer that, because I myself, I'm going on opinion only. I wouldn't do that, but I don't know black skirt tetras. They kind of swim up top, right? Maybe they would be fine. That's a good question. You know what's in my cherry shrimp tank? Snails, cherry shrimp, and a mono shrimp. Because I was absolutely under the belief that I could not breed and keep cherry shrimp. Just couldn't do it. I tried and tried. I worked with Amanda over at Flip Aquatics. I tried so hard. And so I ended up just getting a dozen Amano shrimp, and they were my shrimp. And then all of a sudden I had babies. And I was talking to Tom, and he kind of reminded me, you're probably not Amano babies. And then I looked closer, and the next time I saw him, I told him that, no, I got cherry shrimp in there. So somehow or another, there was still some cherry shrimp in there, even though I didn't think I could. And now that I am using RODI water, even though they're cherry shrimp, Neocaridina, but I'm using RODI water, and it seems to be working much better than tap water with conditioner. Just wasn't working for me. So I'd love to hear what other people think about that black skirt tetra. I have a barb tank. pH is between 6 and 7. You should join the Skylands Aquarium and Water Garden group. Oh, that sounds like fun. I love the water gardens. I bet you they got tips and tricks on how to break down your summer tub easily. Easier than I do, maybe. The skimmer and salt water helps a little with phosphates. Phosphates usually comes from flake food. Ah. Try switching to freeze dried. So what is that hard white rocks that I put in my saltwater tank to help with phosphates? I put it in the filter. Ian told the truth. Look at it, 7:46 already. Oh my gosh, I just been, time flies. Brian and I are members and meet in Denville, New Jersey. Denville? I've never heard of that. I want to look it up. I can't look it up now, but I want to look it up. Denville. Oh. I would love that. Because I love the aquatic plants. I love the regular plants. Do you guys see my thing? Because I brought in a lot of plants from outside. I don't know if you can see it. There's no light back there. Look at that. You see that? I am contemplating on building a living wall. So if I'm just contemplating it right now. I don't really actually have a wall or space, but I thought, what a great concept, especially since I was bringing in a lot of stuff from outside and just trying to figure out a place to put it. This room down here is nice and humid and warm. The only thing is that doesn't get any light, so I'm going to bring down a plant light down here for him. But I really like that thing. I'd prefer dolomite rather than crushed coral. I guess I've never had dolomite. I've always just gotten crushed coral. Zeolite absorbs phosphates. Is that what it is? So I use a mixture of zeolite, lava rock, and something else. I'll get it. But I use a mixture for that in my plants a lot of time instead of soil. And one is like an odor absorbent too. So yeah, if zeolite would work, that would be interesting. Yeah. Danikin in the house. Black skirt tetras, chow down on chow. That's what I kind of figure. Most tetras, they're just picky, like they're picky. What fish do go with cherry shrimp? So I know what L.R. Bretz does. He builds these piles of rock. So even if you put some fish in there, and granted they're going to be smaller fish, the cherry shrimp seem to be able to hide in these piles of rock. And they breed quite readily for them, which is pretty cool. It's a bit of a drive, but it's a fun club. Meets on Friday nights during part of the year, Saturday afternoons during other months. Ow! Well, that just sounds like a fish party to me. When are we going to be able to start going back to fish clubs? There is a fish swap coming up in Allentown. $5 a table, like a flea market maybe. I was thinking, tell me if this is too, like, I don't know. I wanted to get a table. Donnie, aka New York Gold, is going to be there with some of his friends from New York. I am so excited. I want to get a table, but I don't have any fish to bring, but I have a lot of 10-gallon tanks, 20-gallon longs. Like, I just got things to bring that's used, though. They're not, like, nice. They're used. But I don't know. I always figure one man's trash is another one's treasure, but I seem to get a lot of trash. So when my trash is trash, then what is it called? Susie, you'd be the coolest kid on YouTube with a living wall. Oh my gosh, Bob, I want a living wall so bad. I want a living wall. And I'm looking all over. Already John is like, because, you know, the plants are populating everywhere. And they're not propagating. Oh, I am propagating a lot. And I got a propagation station. But I'm also buying plants. Just, obsessive kind of personality. Compulsive, impulsive, what's a word? I don't know, but I love it. It's the same as the fish. It's like, it is so relaxing and nurturing. Maybe it's empty nest syndrome. So keep in mind, I've had 4 daughters. I still have them. But you know, they're grown up. Maybe what I do is a part of this empty nest syndrome. I just need something to take care of. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But a living wall would be awesome. I'm telling you, look at this. So just to see if it would work well, I also sent One Fish, Two Fish one of these to see how she likes it. Because if these pushed out, started really puffing out, you just hang another one next to it and another one next to that. And if they were on a wall with like near a window or maybe offset from a window, wow, I think it would be beautiful. Like, and the bottom rung down here is kind of like a drip tray. It's kind of like a drip tray. So even if they all go down, oh, and the back of it is waterproof. So I think that thing is so cool. Used tanks do not sell well at auctions. That's what I thought. Maybe better at a swap. But I'm still going to go because guess what? Have an empty tank. What? Donnie is going to be there. I am so excited. It's like going out in public and meeting people again. They're so few and far between. I'm going to take advantage of it. What? Lurking and working on turtle enclosure. Howdy, Q, and all you fish freaks. Howdy, Holly. I am dedicating my whole winter and early spring to building an aired, indestructible tortoise enclosure. It's going to be raccoon proof because 2 nights ago, the whole roof was ripped open. The whole top was ripped open. That wasn't a cat. But I have already brought all my tortoises inside. Brought all my turtles, tortoises, everybody came inside except for my Eastern musk, which is still in the back pond with the baby koi. I just got to still get that with one pond left, one little tub left to do. Everybody else is hunkered down. Hunkered down, I said. So enjoy making your turtle enclosure. You can still take care of me. Oh, look at Katie O'Connor. Katie doesn't need me. Look at this. This daughter of mine, this is number 2. Katie O'Connor, right there, Katie O'Connor. She rebuilt her kitchen cabinets. She made them, put the trim on them. Then she made a brand new countertop and made it look marble and shiny. It's gorgeous. She redid her bathroom. She don't need taken care of. Sheesh. You're going to have to take care of me, Katie. I love you. My chili rasbora and least killifish work great with shrimp. Now that I could say because they're so tiny. They're so tiny. You know, what are they going to do? That's kind of like my little baby turtles with guppies. They can chase them all they want. They're not going to catch them until they get bigger. Oh my God, your poor husband. I raised 2 daughters and it about killed me 4. Count them. It's like Sesame Street. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. And just like anything else, like when I was saying, preparing, creating them, so much great. Maintaining, awesome. When it's time to let them go, that's a whole different story. 4 daughters. 4 amazing, healthy, gorgeous daughters. Used tanks are okay at the buy it now table if you auction has the buy it now table. See, I don't know what it was because everybody was getting tables for $5. So I'm going to have to go back and see. Is it like one of those trunk swaps? Is it an auction? I don't know, but I just got a message that Donnie was going, do you want to go? It's Allentown is an hour away. I'm like, oh, I'm so going. And then I have all these extra tanks. I'm like, oh, maybe, maybe not. Let me do some feelers. So what is the living wall? Never heard of it. Oh, Melvin. Melvin, I could have a whole wall. See this? A whole wall, let's say 6 foot high, 6 foot wide, and it's just a wall, but it's got plants growing out of it. All different kinds of plants, hanging plants, spiraling plants, bushy plants, trellis plants. Oh, I think it would be amazing. Absolutely amazing. But for now, I'm going to try not a wall, a living wall, a living strip. I'm just trying out this one to see how well it works, because I certainly don't want to invest in a living wall and get the kind like plants if they're not easily exchangeable, because I would imagine like the croton's going to get too big for that wall. The pothos is going to be perfect. It's going to be absolutely perfect. The coffee plant might be great there. The ribbon plant I put on top so it can keep growing. The cordyline probably won't make it because it needs high sun, but I just put it there so if it starts getting yellow leaves, I'll have to take that plant out and put another plant in. So it's just a nice way to display some of your gorgeous plants. It's called a living wall. You should look at some of the pictures. Some of the people who have living walls outside. Wow. And if you make a living wall behind a fish tank, if you have the right fish tank, the right setup. So you can have your fish tank like aquaponics. And the water pumps it up to the top and lets it sprinkle its way down. And if you're not going to use soil, you would either use the little clay balls or like I was saying the other, the zeolite, lava, and those kind of rocks so that the water goes through, the roots filters the water back into your fish tank, and the plants will be lush. Maybe this is the wall I need to do it on. Let's see. Guys, what do you think? Look at this wall. So this is a 55 gallon. And let's see. It's got probably only 2 foot long. It's wider than it is long. So it would have to be a long, short wall. But I think that would work. Hopefully that'll stay put. I'm thinking that would work. What do you guys think? Because using fish water, we have built-in nutrients in these waters, aka fish poop, that plants love. And in return, their roots will filter the water, which the fish love. And it just keeps going and keeps going. I think it's a perfect symbiotic relationship to have plants all up here with just water. Now, I thought I had problems with my pumps out in the ponds. Could you imagine if I put a pump in every tank? Flowing up to the top, dribbling down through, flowing up, dribbling. I think that's perfect. That's what I want my fish room to be. If I could have a large, spacious fish room, that is what I would want. It would have all my fish, reptiles. It would look like a jungle. It would have plants, fish, water, reptiles. Oh, I dream about it. Did you see the tortoise people are back in town? Yes, I did. I'm so happy they're back. The Backyard Tortoises, guys. If you haven't checked out their channel, if you're into keeping reptiles, this couple, they build their enclosures and breed. They work with conservationists and breed certain rarer turtles and reptiles. And you got to check out their channel. They're great people. Downhearted Backyard Tortoises. They're amazing. I did see that they're back in town. I don't think she'd be very happy about it, though. Her name just happens to be Sue. Our brand, Holly Gibbs. I would like you to be a guest on my stream. On your radio stream, right? Holly, you're going to do it. Half-beaks work great with shrimp. I had 2 half-beaks once. It's a flea market. So I still don't know if that would be good for used tanks. We had 2 sons, 2 daughters. 6-bedroom house is now very quiet. Oh my gosh, 6 bedrooms. Wow. Wow. My mom raised 5 boys and 1 girl, so you get it. That would be cool. A living wall is a wall with lots of plants. Yep, it's just packed. Wall-to-wall plants. Get wall-to-wall. That's kind of silliness. Oh, look. Candy, you're amazing. Candy! Is it Bob or Haley this week? Yeah, who is coming on? So, with a waterfall. Yes. Obviously, water flowing everywhere. Fish swimming, reptiles, living in bioactive enclosures with amazing plants and trees, and Sophie flying free anywhere she wanted. That's my dream room. It could be a whole basement, or it could be a whole house. I gotta figure this out. I gotta figure this out, guys, because I think about it and I could dream about it every day. I don't need lots of stuff. I'm not fancy schmancy, but that's something that would really make me happy. And then I'm sitting here thinking, is it too much to tear down tubs? I guess that answered that question, didn't it? Well, thanks, guys. Oh, this was amazing. I can't believe how fast this stream flew by. And thank you very much, Bob, for your super sticker. Because it says, keep on, keep on, keep it on. I want to make sure I got it right. Keep it up. Keep it up. So you guys know how we're going to end this, right? Because...
Hey everybody, it's Susie Q and I'm here to show you just what I do. I have a passion for fish and exotics too, so come along with me, it's Susie Q. Hey everybody, it's Susie Q and I'm here to show you just what I do. I got a passion for fish and exotics too, so come along with me, it's Susie Q. Hey everybody, it's Susie Q and I'm here to show you just what I do. I have a passion for fish and exotics too, so come along with me, it's Susie Q. Hey everybody, it's Susie Q. Hey everybody, it's Susie Q. Nah nah, hey everybody, it's Susie Q, so come along with me. Said I'm Susie Q.